Goody everybody, it's Pluto here. I'm back with a new video. I know it's been a while, but thank you for sticking around. I greatly appreciate it. We also just made it to 600 subscribers on YouTube. Definitely doing a lot of these videos, and everything I'm doing is pretty much organic, so it means a lot to actually get to 600 subscribers on YouTube, and I greatly appreciate that. So I'm gonna get right into it. In this video, I'm gonna show you a quick walkthrough on how you can cook up starting from your drums. Now, usually you see a lot of videos about starting with the melodies and chords and samples and all that, but we're gonna flip it because you can really get some dope ideas doing it the reverse way. So in this video, I'm just gonna start with the drums, and then we're gonna build around it and see how you can go about that yourself. So let's jump right into it. I got this little drum melody, well, it's drum pattern I just cooked up. And I mean, it sounds simple, it's not too crazy. Alright, the hi-hat's got a little bit more complexity to it, but overall it's pretty simple. Now, I mean, got some hi-hats in here, snare, pretty simple and straightforward. Some of the benefits of actually starting your cookups like this is that you would automatically know what the root keys are, as opposed to if you're using a sample, you have to go find out what the root key is if it's not up there and stuff like that. But starting with the drums like this, you already know what the root key is, so everything that you do is going to be in key with your 808. So that's the very good thing about starting your drums first and then building around your drums. Now, I mean, so right now, since we have our drums, and then let's add something in here. Really don't know where I'm going with this beat right now, but we'll figure it out. If you don't remember what you really did, like how you put the chords in or what's the root keys and that stuff like that, it's all right. You could just stay in the same pattern. Make sure you have your ghost notes on. Real quick view. You want to make sure that ghost channels is on so you can see the other notes that you've been playing. And all you would do is just overlay your notes on top of it. So these would be your bass notes. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Just want to extend those all like that. Bow. Now, here's a quick method for you to get chords very easily. It's very simple. It's a secret, but it's no secret. And I mean, so if you don't know it, definitely have this as something that you can remember so that you can just easily build chords and make melodies. All right. So starting from the first root note is D sharp. We want to go up 3. We're going to try to go for a minor chord. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. On that third note, I'm going to leave that note there, and I'm going to go up to the 7th note from the root key. So that's our root key. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bring that to the front, and we have our chord, our D sharp minor chord. Wow, that's simple. And if you wanted to go for a major, you just change this third note, this third note to the 4th. But obviously, this sounds better in minor, so I'm going to keep it in minor. It might seem like it's going to get complicated as you go down the line trying to make sure that it's the right sound, because sometimes if you put a minor behind a major, it might not sound right, or a major behind a minor, it might not sound right. So it's just a simple fact of elimination. I mean, that doesn't sound right, so then it's got to be this one. If it's not that one, it's not too many other things that it can be. So if it's not minor, it's major. So let's try out this B note. Let's see if it's minor or major. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go for a major. I think it's a major, but for right now I'm making a minor just to see what happens. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. So we're gonna move it up 1 and go to a major. And now we just got one more chord to create. Alright, so let's start with our minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's see if it's minor or major. Well, it's not minor, so let's just go up one more to 4. And there you have it. You have minor, major, major. If you want to make it a little bit more complicated, a little bit more vibey, what you can do, you can take these middle notes, or you can take any notes, honestly, but you can get more creative with it. So I'm going to take these middle notes, the third and the fourth notes, and I'm going to move them up 1 octave. It gives it more of an open sound. Now I can change this to anything now to get more of a vibe, whatever it is that I'm going for. Alright, now so with that, all we're gonna be doing is basically layering and adding in extra stuff like air candy and stuff, but you also want to keep in mind to leave space for the artist. So let's say I did something like that. I like the strings in there, so I want to keep those strings. I'm gonna keep those strings, and I'm going to copy it over here. Alright, and I'm going to change this to a piano real quick. Now for these strings, I'm going to change these to, I believe, quarter notes. Gonna cut these up. So all I have to do is select it all, go to the chopper. I think this is probably it. Shrink these down. Let's see if this is it. Back on. Yeah, we can bring these down. That's all cool. It vibes together, and then you can add some extra notes in there just to add some more dynamics, so like going up and down and stuff like that. And all you have to do is just make sure that your notes guide is on automatic. So you want to go into view, scale highlighting, and make sure that automatic is on. And basically all you have to do is make sure that your notes line up, I mean, with these gray lines. Sometimes there might be some darker gray lines, but that's cool. As long as it's in tune with what you're doing, you're fine. So if I added a note here, it should make it go down, make it give that tension. Dun, 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 dun. More. So the next thing that you will add to it, I mean, definitely layer those up. I would definitely like make some pads and some atmospheric pads and stuff like that, and just copy the chords and just put them in different octaves and stuff like that, just to give it a bigger, fuller sound without adding so much more different melodies and stuff like that. I really don't like getting into melodies too much, because melodies is more of a vibe thing for me, and sometimes it's not needed, and sometimes, I mean, it's needed to be complicated. It depends on the record, I mean. But just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna show you real quick how you can create melodies off of these chords that you created from your drums. And basically what you want to do is you want to keep inside of what you've been playing, I mean. Really simple. I mean, keep it real simple. It doesn't always have to be that simple, but for the sake of this video, we just want to keep it simple. Notice I didn't play exactly what I put in the chords, but it pretty much stays in the same mode as all the other notes. This last note. Alright, and we gotta fix this. There's a note wrong in here. Alright, that's cool. Alright. And now next thing you can do is like some cool things that you can do is if I duplicated this and I took, okay, I took these sounds, this melody I just made, I put it in there, and what I'm gonna do is basically make this a double time version of it. I think that should be about the, nah, like here. Sounds a little crazy right now, but if we throw it into a halftime, you know what I mean? Now that adds a little bit more of a vibe to it. Throw some reverb. Alright, that's cool. And like I said, I would just throw a pad in there, some type of moody joint. A morning. Let's see what that sounds like. You know what I'm gonna do is copy this, put that in there. Alright, and one last gem I'm gonna leave y'all off with, cause that's pretty much, I mean, that's the basics, that's the framework of what your beat is gonna be. I mean, you just take it to another level, manipulate with the sounds, throw some effects on it and stuff like that. But one thing that could really take your beats to a next level is using an actual bass sound rather than an 808 before the 808 come in, like sound like the intro or something like that. So basically all you would do is just take your 808 notes, paste them into your bass joint. I mean, that gives it that vibe right there. And we're gonna take all those out. Matter of fact, leave that one just to add some more dynamics. And then from there, you can just keep building on it. I mean, add some vocal samples and stuff like that, and you good to go. Alright, so just to speed through this real quick, this is pretty much the final version of the beat. And all I really did was just add a couple more layers with the same chords. I didn't really add too much melodies and stuff like that. I added some stuff with the piano, made the piano a little bit more textured, I guess, a little bit more feeling to it. So let's just listen real quick to this piano. Yeah, so all that is just, I mean, same thing I said in the beginning. I mean, going up and down, stuff like that. It just gives it a little bit more feeling. Besides that, I just beefed up the bass a little bit. I added another bass from Omnisphere, and I just added some more dynamics to it. This pad, I think this is the pad. The same chords, I just added some extra chords up here, which I actually want to bring down in volume. Alright, so this is how the sample came. So that's what it sounded like when I first dropped it into the project, into this arranger window. So one of the quickest things that you can do is like two methods, real quick methods you can use to get this in time. It's two things that we need to do. We need to get it in time, and we need to make sure that the key is in the same key, root key of the beat. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is make sure that we get it in the same time. One thing that you can do is that you can go in here to this box. If you double click on the sample, you go to this time knob and you kind of stretch it out to the length that it's supposed to be. Depending on what the sample is, it's usually like a 8-bar loop, you know what I mean? But if it looks longer than that, then you go for 13. If it's longer than 13, then you're gonna go for 17. You really want to go for the closest bar that it's next to. But if you don't want to go that route and you have the BPM, you just right click on that same knob and you go to auto detect, and you go to type in BPM, and you go into 74. Now, if that's not what you want to do, let's say that's too fast. Yeah, let's say it's too fast. All right, so we know that's too fast, so we're just gonna double the time. So all we're gonna do is just move our knob to the next bar, to the next 8 bars. Now it's in time. So the next thing that we have to do is get it in key, and basically this is the cheat code with this. You start with the key, right? So the key is G sharp. So you want to go to your knob. 0 is G sharp. 0 is the key of the sample that you're using. Alright, so we need to go from a G sharp to a D sharp, because remember, D sharp is the key that we started with our 808s right here. D sharp. We're gonna start from 0. 0 is G sharp. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So we can go up 7 or we can go down 5, I believe. 1 2 3 4 5. We can go up 7 or we can go down 5, and that's gonna put us in a D sharp. So if we go up 7, that's in key. Everything is Gucci. Now if we went down 5, that's the same key. That should also fit the same time. It should also fit the same vibe. Extra things that I added in is just really to bring out that idea more, and it really doesn't need it. Also, I added in like some phrases and stuff just to add a little bit more texture, and all I did was the same thing I did with the vocals. Put in the tempo. You get the tempo right, make sure that it's lining up with your tempo. Then you get into the pitch, make sure the pitch, these started on a C, so all I had to do was go up 1 2 3 more steps, and then that would be in the key. If I didn't explain it in detail before, I said you started at 0, and these numbers, every 100 is a note. So if you start at C and you go up 100, you're now at a C sharp. If you go up 200, then you're at a D, etc., etc. And I threw those into a channel, and I just half-timed those. That's just to really just give texture and stuff like that. I'm probably even gonna bring it even further down in the background. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna let some of the finished beat play. I mean, definitely stay tuned for more videos. Definitely got some stuff I'm brewing up, I'm cooking up for you guys. But I'm gonna let that joint rock.